Hey y'all, welcome back. We are in chapter 2. We're learning Photoshop basics, and I will be demoing an exercise called weddingday.psd that we'll be looking at the layers panel as well as the history panel in this. And as just a reminder, I did this week upload our Metamorphosis project, so make sure you take some time to take a look at that, look through the videos, and make sure that you understand what the assignment is so you can let me know if you've got questions. All right, so back to our textbook, Adobe Photoshop Creative Cloud Revealed, and we are going to work on Wedding Day. I have the file open. I'm just going to simply save it as wedding day underscore weeding day. No, just not today. No weeding for me today. I don't even have a garden this year. Okay, so this is wedding day, and we are going to click the rings layer on the layers panel. And you'll see here's the layers panel. Mine's kind of tucked over on the right hand side. And we want to select the rings layer, and then we are supposed to get the move tool, and then depending on the size of the window you might be able to see that only the initial characters of the name. If you scroll over that name, typically it will also give you like a little screen helpful hint that gives you the full name of the layer. All right, and we want to verify that the Show Transform Controls checkbox on the options bar is not checked, and it isn't. And then we're going to click the Indicate Layers Visibility button on the rings layer to display the image, which you'll see that right here. And there is the image. And in the Layers panel, will be a wealth of information for you. It's going to show you all of the various layers that were added to make up this particular image. This is the layer visibility. If you turn it off, not only can you not see that particular image, it will not print if you choose to print at this point. By default, transparent areas of an image have a checkerboard display on the layers panel. So not only on the layers panel, but also on the layer and the image itself. These little gray and white checkerboard just means those are transparent pixels. If I were to select only the hands, for example, I could go up to the layer thumbnail, hold down Command or Control, depending on what system, if you're on a PC or a Mac. You'll see that little white box, and if you click, that then selects only the active pixels on that layer. You see that it doesn't select any of the transparent pixels. Okay, so we are going to go back to the textbook here. This indicates layer visibility. You saw that I turned those off. I'm going to do a select and deselect. Also, as mentioned in the textbook, one of the nice things about it is after I get this, for example, the hands layer to exactly you can see that the opacity has been reduced to 78%. As soon as I get it positioned, sized, and anything else that I want done with that particular layer, I can also turn off the visibility. And then when I work on these other two layers, and I might be working on a layer like this one that would ultimately overlap and could potentially undo something that I'd done to that layer if I weren't careful. When you turn off the visibility, that layer then is not editable either. Okay, so let's turn that back on. All right. Now we are going to click on the hands layer on the layers panel to hide that layer. And we're going to display the legacy workspace we created in chapter 1. I did not create a legacy workspace, but I think we're going to be fine with that. We're going to click and drag the hands layer on the layers panel beneath the rings layer so that the layers panel looks like figure 10 or you'll see this on my screen in just a moment. And you'll see the layer visibility here is still off, but we are going to click and drag it below the rings, and it will allow us to move it. And so your layer should now look like mine or layer 10 in the textbook. And this is the result of the moved layer when you look at the overall image. We're going to click Layer Order on the History panel. So in order to find the History panel, you need to go up to Window and bring out History in case you haven't worked with it before today. And then we're going to click Layer Order on the History panel, which is mine's already selected. Then we're going to drag it to the Delete Current State button, which is right here. Looks like a little trash can. And what happens is the image goes back to how we had it previously in terms of layer order. We're going to go to File on the menu bar and click Save. Okay, one other thing with the history panel, and I use this quite often. You just need to understand that you can only go, I think there is a maximum maybe of 20 steps or something like that that you can go back. So you do have to be careful when you're going back. You know, you might want to go back to the original image. Just make sure you're not losing some very important steps if it's beyond 20 steps in the history panel. Another option to deleting history is the revert command, and that's located on the File menu. And this will take your image and revert it back to the last saved state. Again, I don't keep track of mine quite well enough to know whether, I rarely use that actually. I use the history panel most often. So, alrighty guys, that's it. I will be back, and have a great day.